Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today I want to make a real quick pre-series announcement video before I actually do the video do the series that I'm going to do today. Now, as you can see, we haven't done this in a good while actually, but the announcement you have to make is already kind of drawn on the screen for you to see. I want to explain this so you guys can actually get what's going on, because, well, I need to discuss something about my more recently started Agar series for the iPad or tablet. Because I've noticed that, like I said from the community, about a week or two ago or so, I posted a poll on my community tab asking you guys, well, what's your favorite what's your favorite .io game to watch me play? To the, well, kind of surprising conclusion of the few votes I did actually get, all of them voted for this. It's hard to read, but all of y'all voted for Agar. The ones that did actually vote, that is. So, yeah. And let me go and say this, if anybody else votes anything else, this was recorded in the past. So, for all I know, maybe within the next 2 weeks it'll change a little bit and somebody else will vote for something else. But all I'm saying is that right now, the 100% winner was Agar. But you've noticed something with Agar. I've even noticed certain things. First of all, some of the videos that I'm doing are getting a lot of views, but also getting disliked by 1 or 2 people. And now, in certain cases, I can understand, maybe. Like, I'm sorry, let me go also say this. I know this is not complete, the line ain't completely filled in, but like I said, the drawing feature was over there kind of in the way, and I couldn't completely get it to go all the way over there. Well, I probably could. I was just worried about messing up any settings or whatever if I actually did do that. So, but it doesn't really matter because I can fit everything over here. Let me go and continue saying what I was saying though. The video that I did. No, one of the videos I did in the last few days was a video where I did mainly Dino Factory, which for me was a really fun game to redo again. However, here's the funny thing about it. From what I saw, so far it's got 42 views, but I have 1 dislike on it. And I know, to you guys, 1 dislike compared to 42 views is not that big of a deal. It means at least some people at least didn't hate the video, that sort of thing. But, well, I could kind of understand where y'all are coming from in that regard, because, yeah, it's called Let's Mostly Play of Agar, but there was no Agar in that video to be found, correct? Well, that's the thing I was trying to discuss with you guys yesterday. I'm going to try changing it up to where I can actually do what the series is mainly about. Please guys, let me go ahead and say this. Please watch this pre-series announcement video. If you guys actually want to see a lot more Agar, you will really pay attention to this video. Please pay attention to this video and keep listening. Here's how I'm gonna. Well, here's the thing. This is something I was trying to explain the other day. I was wanting to do, but it didn't completely work out the way it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to because of everything going so wrong. And I am going to explain that. While I'm over here, though, you can actually go see what that says. Well, I ain't gonna be over here long. All I'm gonna do is check the phone. YouTube, it looks like. Okay. Thanks, Totodile. Appreciate you, honey. Okay, look, let me go and explain something, guys. What I've gotten written down on the screen is how I want to run the series. That's what this says up here. Agar.io series. How I am going to run it. I should have said how I'm trying to run it, or something like that. Because here's what I was kind of discussing with you guys the other day. I was wanting to tell you guys that this is how I want the series to be ran for me. You get, well, first of all, it's called Let's Mostly Play of Agar, right? Well, yeah, it is called that, and that's what I'm trying to include. I'm trying to make it to where we do mainly Agar, but in each episode, we try to change it up a little bit. Well, let me explain that again. Please focus your attention on the bottom text over here, because this will explain more of what I'm talking about. It says up here in red that it says Agar plus one game each episode. What that means is, guys, is that what I tried to tell you guys in the last session I did. How I want to run the series is I want to do Agar plus one other game per each episode, and it'll be like that for each episode. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. If you guys don't understand, I'll give you a few examples down here. Here's a few examples. I could do, well, it doesn't say how many minutes of the game we do, but let's say it this way. Let's say I wanted to make a 40-minute long video. To make it even and fair, that would mean I would do 20 minutes of Agar, and then after the 20 minutes are up, switch over to Castle Crush. This is just an example, guys. So for like one episode, I could do a little bit of Agar and a little bit of Castle Crush, and then during that episode, switch between them two games only. But then next episode, I could go from Agar to Snake Rivals, or vice versa. Do Snake Rivals for 20 minutes and do Agar for 20 minutes. That's how I'm generally trying to run the series, guys. That's what I've been trying to do for each episode. But we kind of run into an issue only doing one game per episode. Because, well, how are we going to do certain upright games? I mean, games like Magikarp Jump and I Am Monster. Because, like I said, once my battery runs down the iPad, which it did very much quickly yesterday, it was not good. And here's something else, guys. In about an hour and about an hour and 23 minutes or so will be the return of the nature mode in Castle Crush, which means I want to make a very important decision coming up. Right now, guys, it ain't on yet, but it will be in a few hours, and that really makes me that I really gotta think about it. What is it a good idea to try doing that, or is it? I mean, am I gonna switch the like if let's say it this way? What if I do the Agar series for a little while, and then do a little bit of Castle Crush? That's what I'm trying to think about. Because if I want to do a lot of the nature mode, I'm either going to have to do it now or do it later at night. Because you guys know the interrupter. And I don't want her getting in the way of anything. That's one of the reasons why I stopped my video at around 2:40. Because she gets home about 3 o'clock. So, yeah. Here's the thing, guys. I also have not got to give out the scoring sheet results for the last Let's Mostly Play a Vivo Pop. I want to do that, but in order for me to do that, I have to stop the video relatively early in order for that to work out. So, I have no clue, man. I really don't know. But the main thing you guys need to know about this is how I want to run the Agar series is I want to do Agar for the video, but at the same time, do one other game for each episode. So, do Agar alongside, let's say, Snake Rivals, or Castle Crush, or even Dinosaur Factory, although not nearly as much as I did the last time, maybe. So, yeah, it's really not that hard to keep note of it. Just think of it this way, guys. We do Agar plus one other game. It ain't that hard to remember. We could do a guard for each episode and include another game that would actually be really cool to do. So maybe let's say the next episode I do could be me doing a Gar and Snake Rivals. But then the video after that could be a Gar and Castle Crush. Or it could be, let's say, a Gar and Magic Carp Jump. Which I may have to make like one of the first episodes we do, because remember, once the battery goes down, upright games are not a thing for us anymore. It really isn't. So, yeah, I really have no clue when it comes to that stuff. I'll have to figure it out and see what's actually going to work. But if you just keep note of this little chart right here, these even just these examples right here, you would know exactly what's going to happen. Oh yeah, guys, and I also do want to go and let you know that vice versa could also happen. What that means is, instead of starting with a Gar, I could start with the game you see right here. So that's kind of what the point of these arrows are kind of for. I was when I was drawing this, I was thinking more of like maybe doing a little bit of a guard, then switching over to Castle Crush, then using that area to be like switching back over to a guard. And the same thing for this one as well. After we do a guard, we go over to Snake Rivals, represented by this arrow just pointing right, and then switch back over to a Snake Rivals. I mean, a guard whenever I do a little bit of Snake Rivals for a while. That sort of thing. So, yeah. But this also could represent like me starting with this game and then switching over to this one. So I do Snake Rivals for the beginning of an episode, but switch over to a guard a little bit later on. May that be the little schedule. I'm going to try sticking to that schedule the best I can. However, I got to think about this very highly. Because if I want to have a lot of time with the nature mode, I'm going to have to either do a lot more Agar and Castle Quest for episodes, or I'm going to have to stop in the middle, or stop this series for today around 9:50 or 9:55 or something like that, and then do a Castle Crush video on my channel. I have no clue yet. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, guys, I know it wasn't that big of an announcement, but for y'all that wonder how the Agar series is ran, please watch this video. I know 12 minutes may seem like a lot for an announcement, but that's sure in a lot of other announcements end up being, so please watch it so you guys can understand what's going to happen. I'll give you a little bit of a summary. For each episode, I'm going to try doing a Gar plus one other game, and then switch between the two. A Gar and Castle Crush, for example, like you see down here. Do a Gar for a few minutes, then do Castle Crush for a few minutes, and if I want to end off the video after that point, then switch back over to a Gar again. You know, just switching between the two games. I mean, seriously, it's really not that hard if you take the time to look at it. Wait a minute. Hold up. Not only did my computer run dead, but it's also going slower. Oh no. Hold on. My luck will be that it won't work. Because as I'm talking, I can see myself, I can see it. Oh. Huh. That was weird. Because in the beginning, it was sitting, I was watching myself on the camera and it was slowing down. I'll be done talking, but I still see my mouth moving on here. I'm going to, and then, like, let's just say like this. I'm going to, and my mouth will be moving. I can't remimic the thing I just did, but I just saw my mouth moving even though I was done talking a few seconds earlier. As soon as I pulled it up, though, it fixed it. Hopefully that means the camera ain't messed up. That'd be my luck. I'll figure it out, guys. We'll either do like 1 or 2 videos of Agar and then switch over to Castle Crush midway so we can do nature mode. Or we'll do all Agar but mainly have episodes focused on Agar and Castle Crush only. Or if I don't do either of those, I'll at least try coming back later tonight and try doing a lot more Castle Crush. Even if it means we do a Let's Mostly Play of Evo Pop and mainly focus on Castle Crush after each set of Evo Pop. I don't know, guys. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll see you all in a few minutes whenever I get the episode started. Until next time, everyone, I want you guys to be the very best, like no one ever was, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.